Hindi mo tinanong bakit?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, as former USEC po mentioned, I was also informed that the Office of the Secretary needs some impact or outcome of the efforts of the Department of Education in terms of protecting the youth, including the out-of-school youth and some IPs. So I was not aware of that is the purely justification for the confidential fund. So I coordinated with the Philippine Army commanders, my former colleagues, to give feedback or in terms of certification that they have conducted wireless in coordination with various stakeholders to include Department of Education. So yun po yung parang pinaka-basis ng coordination ko po sa mga Philippine Army units na nandito po ngayon.
Kasi maski sa certification, USEC, wala rin ako nakitang na amount na nakalagay doon sa mga certifications ng mga unit commanders ng Philippine Army. Wala. So, may ibang purpose lang yung pagkuha nyo ng certification na yun. And as I've said, it is used to justify yung expenditure ng or pag-spend ng confidential fund ng Department of Education. Now, COA, would it be true na nagbigay po kayo ng CN o credit notice dun sa first 2 quarters ng use ng confidential fund ng DepEd?
Attorney Camora, you are recognized.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
May I know the basis why nagbigay po kayo ng credit notice? Kasi what I know is if you give credit notice, everything is proper.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Now, bakit po kayo nagbigay ng credit notice doon sa first 2 quarters?
Since nag-submit po sila ng documents that we required in the AOM, we deem them okay na po for the compliance.
Parang sa joint circular din,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, yun nga po, yung certifications is
And-
one of the requirements po.
When I
I
say
mean-
parang sa joint circular, you do not do anything to find out whether the data or the certifications given you would be reasonable or true. Hindi nyo tinitignan, di ba?
Mr. Chair, since dun sa certifications, nilagay po nila na due to the collaboration between the DepEd and the Philippine Army, wala pong mga batang recruited. Okay na po yun sa
Okay na sa inyo. Pursuant to your, shall we say, circulars.
yes, Mr. Chair.
Ganon.
Yes,
Ganon po
Mr.
yun.
Chair.
Ay, paano nga natin mababantayan yung kung pag ganyan ang inyong pag-iisip? Di po ba? Now, Mr. Chair, please allow me to come up with my parochial concern. Because I heard a while ago that USEC Densing was in charge of the allocation of the BEFF or Basic Educational Facilities. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yusek Densing, you are
That's correct, sir.
recognized.
Correct. Pwede ko bang malaman bakit walang napunta sa Antipolo na school building
Sir,
during your term or the term of VP Sara?
ang nahawakan ko po actually is 24.
Hindi, tinatanong ko.
Opo.
Sagutin mo muna ako.
Pero sir, ang sa Antipolo kasi, Antipolo, Taytay, tinanong ko rin kasi yan dun sa technical working group, wala na pong buildable space. Yung pang binanggit sa akin.
Walang buildable space.
Opo.
There's a fund with the DepEd na pambili ng spaces. Di po ba?
Wala po. Yun po ang nilabi namin nung nakaraang
That
budget.
is for GA 2022?
24 po, 24.
Hindi, tinatanong ko nga eh.
Sa 22 po wala.
Congressman ako noong 2022.
Opo.
My
I-
wife was a congresswoman
I wasn't there yet, but
since
there was no fund, sir.
2019.
I was not there
Pero
yet.
wala kaming natatanggap.
Opo.
Your records will bear me out.
Opo. I
As a matter of
recognize.
fact, the first time, 2022, nag-usap po tayo. Kasi kinausap po ninyo yung mga yung mga members ng parties. Di po ba? And we talk. Sinabi ko yung concern ko na yun.
We did. In fact, nung ginawa nga nila, may mga districts nga, legislative districts na wala.
Now, may I ask you, Yusek Densing, is that following the mandate of the Constitution that you are supposed to equitably distribute government resources?
That's the part of the criteria that I mentioned to the National Technical
Yeah.
Working Group.
Tinatanong nga kita eh.
Opo.
When you do not allocate school buildings doon sa isang lugar, is that equitable distribution?
Again, sir, the problem was there are no buildable spaces in the area.
Sino po ang nagsabi?
Yung National Technical Working Group po.
Itong 2024, humingi ako.
Opo.
2024, humingi ako. There are buildable spaces. Pero wala pa rin. And you cannot explain that to me.
Well, sir, I could not answer because the fund was really small at the time. Originally at 9.7 NEP.
So what you're trying to tell me, Yusek, is that hindi po priority doon yung distrito ko po.
No, sir. Priority po inyo dahil mataas po ang shortage sa Antipolo.
Kasi meron pa kami 3 shifts eh.
Opo. Kaya po, priority kayo, Taytay.
Pero wala pa rin kami. Kung priority kami sa mata ninyo, bakit hindi kami nabibigyan?
Yun
Baka
ba?
tama yung sinasabi ni Johnny Pimentel.
Ay, hindi po tama yun. Hindi po tama yun.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The chair would like to recognize the Honorable Jonathan Kate Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yusek Mempin.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Chair.
Sir, is there any other Yusek who has been given the same designation to oversee the wireless programs? O ikaw lang, from DepEd?
Actually, I was not the one in charge of the wireless. I was just tasked to coordinate with the Philippine Army with regards to the report of their conduct of wireless. But in Department of Education, the Operation Strand is the one who has the mandate of under po sa kanya yung program ng wireless but hindi po sa administration.
So are you saying na as far as these certifications are concerned, ang only parang role mo or designation mo was to collect them?
Yes po, yung
To collect them?
to coordinate po.
To coordinate with them?
Yes.
Okay. And the
Yes, Your
collection was for the purpose of liquidating the expenses, or hindi mo alam for what purpose?
I was not exactly aware, but I'm made aware of they need some to see the impact of the collaborations of the Department of Education with the Philippine Army and other stakeholders that resulted through the wireless that resulted to the prevention of recruitment through violent extremism and other
sir,
threats po, sir.
You said impact, no? Impact of the wireless conducted by the AFP? Ang ibig mo sabihin?
Yes, sir, which is the prevention of recruitment.
Yes. So what then is the role of DepEd when it was a purely AFP event?
Because if not all, majority of the participants are also coming from the
Yes,
schools.
but other than them being students, it's as if DepEd is claiming an activity that was not theirs in the first place. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir, with just purpose of coordination.
What coordination? You just ask for the certifications. What coordination are you talking about? Tapos na yung activity eh. You just ask for a certification. What coordination are you talking about, Yusek Mempin?
Coordination for the certification because...
For the certification, but
okay.
not for the activity itself. Tama ba?
Yes, sir, because
Yes,
that my
but then you are claiming that the impact was because of the DepEd activities. You're asking for certifications, claiming that this was the impact of the activities of DepEd by spending their confidential funds on this and that, etc., etc.
Your Honor, that be correct. It's not DepEd initiating, but the activity of, because the conduct of wireless is primarily the activity
Kaya
or
nga,
program of
you're
the
asking
Philippine
for a certification that they conducted this and they included this number of young persons, and the only contribution actually DepEd has was that most of the students there were enrolled in DepEd. But actually, wala kayong actual participation in the wireless. Tama po ba? That's correct, right?
Army. That's correct, Your Honor.
And all you did was collect the certifications from the different units of the military that they conducted these activities and that they had this number of participants. Tama po ba?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, now Mr. Poa, who directed you to secure the certifications?
Mr. Powa, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir, no one directed me.
No one
I was
directed
the
you.
one who coordinated.
So initiative mo lang na mag-secure ako ng certifications kasi may kailangan akong i-justify na expense. Tama po ba?
Opo, but yes, sir, but not necessarily for YLS, because if I may be very candid and honest, hindi naman po ako familiar sa YLS to begin
So
with.
why did you ask Mempin to secure the certifications?
Your Honor, because we needed to secure not certifications but evidence of success for any purchase of information gathered or rewards given in exchange for information.
Okay, now
So-
what information was purchased in the conduct of the YLS by the AFP?
Your
Tell
Honor,
me.
I honestly wouldn't know exactly.
So why would you ask for certification like that?
I asked Yusek Mempin, being our former security consultant and the
Yes.
one that has coordination with AFP, to see if due to the information given by DepEd, they were able to have targeted programs wherein we can respond to the AOM and show that there was in fact success in
Now you just heard Yusek Mempin say that his only participation was in securing the certification.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, why would you ask him for certifications? Ang sabi mo nga, that this is the impact of the rewards that you've been giving. This is the impact of the information that you have been rewarding. Di ba, what is the impact there? Tell me, Mr. Poa.
In my impression, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, is that if the AFP were able to target, kumbaga, hold not just YLS but hold programs, targeted groups because of the information provided by DepEd, then that would show that it was successful.
Okay, what information was provided by DepEd? And to whom was this information provided?
Your Honor, I really,
Yes.
I am under oath.
Yeah.
Hindi ko talaga alam.
O kaya
kung
nga,
ano
hindi
ang
mo alam,
operation.
hindi niya rin alam, yet you're just using these certifications to justify something.
Your Honor,
Hindi mo, ito ha, hindi mo alam ano ang rewards, ano ang i-reward mo. Hindi niya alam ano ang information na binili ninyo. Di ba? Yet you ask Yusek Mempin to secure certifications. Si Mempin naman, secured certifications from activities conducted by the Philippine Army using their own funds. So saan dyan ang ano? Tell me, explain to me, Mr. Poa, where is the connection of the justification for this expense with the certifications issued by them and in relation to supposedly the rewards for the information that you gathered by using confidential funds?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Chair, under my theory, Your Honor, if we were able, because may mga anti-insurgency, yun yung nakita ko sa accomplishment report, no? Anti-insurgency campaigns. Di po ba? So, anti-extremist campaigns. So, that's why I approached Yusek Mempin and said, meron ba tayong makukuhaan ng any report or any certification, kasi yun ang nasa JMC, showing that because of the information that DepEd was probably able to give the AFP, na target nila kung sino yung mga susceptible to insurgency and were able to at least prevent them from being recruited. And in this case, ang nabigay po nila would be seminars, and that is why yun po ang sinubmit ko sa sa response namin sa AOM.
Okay, now parang for me forgive me
Yes,
po
I understand.
Ang labo kasi na you saying na ito yung information that we gathered using this reward money, supposedly, and that, in effect, the AFP conducted these seminars. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
But from the testimonies that you've heard, walang connection whatsoever ang activities nila sa yung activities na sinasabi mo.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Your Honor. Although at that time, hindi ko naman po alam na ganun yung sinasabi nila, no?
Yet you're using the certifications to justify an expense of your office? Parang
Your
mali
Honor-
po ata yan, ha? Di ba? You just testified now na hindi mo nga alam anong connection nito whatsoever, yet you used these certifications issued by them to justify an expense with COA.
Mr. Chair.
Please continue.
Respectfully, Your Honor. Ang confidential funds, hindi naman talaga sa pagkakaalam ko, no? Theoretically, hindi naman pwede ibigay ng isang ahensya sa kabilang ahensya yan. That is something that you can only use as per the JMC for purchase of information so that you can have
Can I
progress,
stop you
etc.
there for sorry, Mr. Poa? Pero, yun nga, paulit-ulit tayo na it all boils down to the fact that you are using a certification of an activity of a different agency who never spent any single peso coming from your office to justify your expense. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, again, respectfully, the justification is not that they spent the money of DepEd. The justification that, under my
You
impression-
attached it to justify your expenses nga, di ba?
Yes,
So tell me where's the connection there?
Mr. Chair,
Please continue.
respectfully, the connection, Your Honor, is if they were able to hold yung seminars nga, which in the beginning, hindi ko man lang alam na seminars yung ibibigay na certification po, just to be clear. If they were able to hold the seminars in certain locations because of information given by DepEd to them that these locations have vulnerable learners that wherein seminars have to be held, for example, yun po yung justification namin na nasubmit sa COA on the success of the expenditure. But not success meaning binayaran po namin ang AFP. That was never the impression, Your Honor.
So ang sinasabi mo is that AFP conducted these seminars because you gave them the information that this sector is vulnerable.
Not me per se, but that is the theory, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor.
AFP. Colonel Buransing, sir.
Colonel Boransing, you are recognized.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
When the YLS was conducted in your area by your division, you conducted it because it was a regular program of your division. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Now, how about you, Colonel Panopio? Did you conduct a YLS in your area with your division or with your battalion because it is a regular program of your battalion or of the FP?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
See? Mr. Poa? Do you want me to ask the others?
Oh,
They will still be giving me the same answers po.
yes, Mr. Chair. Your Honor, I am not in a position to really tell you kung talaga ba
Then who is
ako
in
ng
position to
information.
tell me that?
Your Honor,
Sino?
it would probably be the Secretary, Your Honor, or the ones that are responsible for the confidential funds. Kasi wala naman po talaga, and again, I'm under oath, wala po
So
talaga
kaya,
akong...
who is responsible for the confidential funds?
Your Honor, the Secretary and the SDO are the only ones
Well, then
that
they,
are privy.
you know, if only
Opo.
they would have been here to answer these questions para mas maklaro po. Kasi right now, everyone is really confused, no? Una, why will you be using a certification for an activity of another unit? Tama ba? It's confusing, right? If it's just between us nga, it's confusing eh. Now, if you hear the answers of the AFP, silang lahat had nothing to do with DepEd. When they conducted the YLS, it had nothing to do with DepEd. It was their own programs that they were pursuing. Now, here comes Yusef Mempin collecting the certifications from the activities conducted by AFP, submitting it to you, and you submitting it to COA to justify your expense.
Yes, Your Honor. That is.
It's wrong, di ba?
Yes, but
From no matter how you look at it, it's so wrong.
Mr. Chair, yes.
Please proceed.
But yes, factually, That's really what happened, Your Honor. I got the certifications, I got the documents evidencing payment, the DEPs, which are the acknowledgement receipts. I attached them because that's what COA was looking for, and I submitted to COA, Your Honor.
Kaya nga. Anyway, I've already asked my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Briefly, you are a lawyer, tama po ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Ang tanong ko lang, hindi po ba ninyo binasa muna yung justification bago ninyo sinubmit sa COA? Kasi po, ang hinahanap po ninyong justification sa AOM is insurgency. Tama po ba?
Opo.
Tapos ang sinasubmit ninyo seminar.
Ah,
Hindi po ba medyo... Siyempre tayo, abogado tayo eh. Mabusisi tayo sa mga dokumento eh.
yes.
So, hindi ba parang... Well, ako, napapanood ko po kayo. Napakagaling po ninyong sumagot. Very articulate po kayo. Very sharp po kayo as a lawyer. Pero dito po, parang hindi ako makapaniwala na nag-submit kayo ng isang dokumento na iba yung intention. So, yun lang po yung comment ko. Yes, Congressman, with the indulgence of Congressman Valeriano. Yes. With the indulgence, okay po ba na may tatanong lang daw po siya?
Sige po, Mr.
Sige po.
Chair.
Yes, Congressman
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Dong
Thank you, Mr.
Gonzales.
Chairman. May tanong lang ako sa DepEd. Did DepEd coordinate with the Philippine Army during the entire year? Hindi po yata sila gumastos ng fourth quarter ng 2023. DepEd? Nag-coordinate po ba yung DepEd sa Philippine Army?
Sino po sa DepEd ang po pwedeng
Mr.
sumagot?
Poa?
Ako, Your
Yes,
Honor,
Attorney Poa.
Ako, Your Honor, I wouldn't have any personal knowledge on coordination except I cannot tell you the date. I don't remember now, but there was at least a parang MOA sign, dapat MOA na fina-formulate ang operations team namin with the PNP during my time as Chief of Staff. Pero hindi na-conclude yun while I was still there, Your Honor.
May I know if
Maybe
Yusek Escobedo, who is the Undersecretary for Operations, may I know if babae ba ito? Rebsi. May I know if she is present? Wala po. Wala po.
Well, I will just continue, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please continue.
Maybe I will ask the commander if the program lasted up to the end of the year. Meron po kayong programa sa mga commanders from DepEd from this fourth quarter of this CF?
Sino pong sasagot?
Sa commander po ng Philippine Army or
Colonel Panopio?
Sige po.
Or Colonel Panopio?
May again ask the question, Your Honor.
Well, yung programa po ng Philippine Army at saka ng DepEd, meron po kayong MOA na sign. Ang alam ko po si Mr. Atty. Poa signed the response to the AOM po. Totoo ba ito, Mr. Poa?
Yes po, na ako po yung nag-sign ng response to the AOM po.
That's why kailangan po ang sagot regarding these certifications, Mr. Poa.
Apo, yung certifications naman po, sir, if
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
please proceed.
The reason why at that time I thought that it was at least yan kasi yung natanggap ko and I thought appropriate na rin to isubmit is because based on the wording of the certifications, nakasulat naman po doon that these YLS seminars were conducted in coordination and from information gathered from DepEd amongst one of the agencies. So, since yun po yung certification at yung wording, at least at that time, I thought it was appropriate na po. Now, whether or not it is appropriate for COA or for this committee, at that time po, I just submitted what was available.
Okay, thank you. So yun po, is Commander, if the program lasted until the end of fourth quarter.
Yes, Your Honor. We have the last report dated 30 December 2023, Your Honor.
So meaning to say may disconnection na yung paggastos ng confidential fund ng DepEd up to the fourth quarter. Tama ho ba?
I am not aware of that confidential fund, Your Honor.
But from day one po, wala kayong ginastos.
Yes, Your Honor. We spend our own resources from the Philippine Army and respective participants from the PNP, LGUs, and other stakeholders. Sir.
Is this the infantry division commanders po? Ito po yung sinasabi niyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is the YLS also, the Youth Leader
Yes,
Summit?
sir. The Youth Leadership Summit is a multi-stakeholder engagements under the EO70, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ang tanong po kanina ni Senior Deputy Speaker, kung meron daw po bang MOA o Memorandum of Agreement between DepEd and the Philippine Army with respect to this program. Yun po yung tinatanong kanina ni Senior Deputy Speaker. MOA.
None that I'm aware of.
Wala
na
po
may
kayo.
MOA.
Okay.
Wala po akong
So
alam
kayo
na
po,
MOA.
aware, meron po ba kayong ano?
None that we are aware, Your Honor.
So, okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
just want to clarify.
Congressman Abante.
Yusek Mempin,
Yes, Your
how were
Honor,
you
Mr. Chair.
appointed as Undersecretary when you are in the armed forces?
I was already retired by January.
Yes, you're retired already, but why were you appointed?
I was
Being in the armed forces, why were you appointed? Are you an expert in education when you were in the armed forces?
no, sir.
Oh, why were you appointed?
I was recruited by the former secretary and vice president, and I'm not aware of the reason why I was recruited, except maybe for the trust and confidence, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Okay, would you think that because the secretary has a confidential fund that it should be used with the agreement of the members of the armed forces? Ang pinag-uusapan kanina yung MOA, ano? Hindi ba dapat yung MOA yan ng agency, for example? Dapat kung magmo-MOA ang Department of Education, dapat ang MOA niyan would be between the DepEd and DND. Am I right?
That's correct, Your Honor, Mr.
Meron ba?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
So, ibig sabihin, hindi nyo ginawa ang dapat yung gawin.
Your Honor, I was not the one in charge of wireless.
I'm not referring if you're in charge. What I'm saying is this. That is between departments in the executive branch of government. The MOA should have been between the DepEd and the ND. The question is, why was not it done?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, as mentioned by Yusek Powa, our operation strand is on the process of the engagement with Department of National Defense with regard to wireless, but I think it's not yet been consummated. Or,
Yes, but there should be a MOA. Am I right?
that's correct.
And that
Your
was not done. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Therefore, it is improper. Am I right? It is improper. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
yes, SDS. Dong.
Well,